Good morning. Gary Lowe here from Fecon Stumpex. Wanted to go over the tool this morning about maintenance. So this tool's fairly new. We've had it maybe, I don't know, 2-3 weeks, and it's got about 600-700 stumps on it. It's vital that you go out every day and do your maintenance. Every day you look at your tool like anything else you own. You should be doing visual inspections and doing your maintenance every day. So what I wanted to show you with Stumpex is the most important thing. It's like a chipper knife. There's a straight edge. I use a business card to illustrate that straight edge. That edge is straight. That's really important. So you would go through all the blades, check the straight edge on all the knives. So the straight edge looks really good. Now, we hit a big piece of steel on this side, so there's some collateral damage, but it's fairly minimal. But if the camera comes down and looks here, we've got a burr. Well, that burr is definitely a problem. It's going to reduce your production. So the thing about production is, like anything you own, you want to make money, you want to maintain your equipment, maintain your tools. So it's very easy to do the maintenance on this tool. So what you would do is, I would highly recommend, this is called plugs. These go on 5-inch wheel grinders. Okay, and they're about $5 Canadian, which is like the peso, so about $3 American. But the nice thing about these, like my business card, okay, they have a straight edge. That's real important. So what's going to happen is, you never want to just grind the end. You don't want to just grind here. You need to grind the whole blade from this point to that point evenly. Okay, you never want to grind underneath unless there's a tiny burr underneath, and usually you can feel it with your fingers. Okay, but typically the burrs are going to be on top. And this is from either a huge piece of steel or a rock. So again, when it comes to stumping, you don't really know what's in the ground below the stump. So it's really important to do utility locates, because if you hit pipeline, gas line, whatever, obviously it could be catastrophic, but you're going to break your tool. So you should try and find out what's in the ground by doing utility locates and inspecting your site. If the tool stops, always go in reverse, because that's a great indicator there's something in the ground. You need to explore it further before you have a problem. But anyway, these are called plugs. So what happens with this plug is, it screws in to a high-speed 5-inch wheel grinder. You put on your hard hat, your safety glasses, your vest, your gloves, you get your grinder out, and you would run that grinder along these blades, back and forth, back and forth. You don't have to take a lot of material off, but what you want to maintain is that flat edge with that grinding wheel. And the reason is because, like a chipper knife on a mulcher head or a chipper, there's so many different tools that have knives, it's imperative that you keep that edge, okay, that straight edge, exactly flat, because if you round it, it's not going to perform. It's not going to cut properly. And this is maintenance 101. So I recommend these because they have a flat, high-speed plug, and you would go back and forth. Okay. There's also another one that is a bigger unit, which is a V-shaped. Some guys prefer these, and you can use this as well. And the same thing on your first cutting blades. Okay, you can get right in here on an angle, and you can sweep the whole angle. As you can see, again, I'm always checking to make sure I have the perfect flat level edge. Very important. Now, down on my cone here, okay, I do an inspection and I make sure if there's a burr, I would run the point just along here, and I would just take that burr off real lightly. Okay, and what that's going to do is keep this edge this screw cone edge really nice. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wash this, okay, or clean it with a tool, and I'm going to go around and I'm going to inspect it. And what I'm looking for, which all equipment does and happens, if you see a small stress crack or a chip, this is AR 500. This stuff needs to be preheated at about 350 degrees before you weld it. So if I see a stress crack or I see a significant gouge, I'm not going to leave it and let it get worse until it breaks. I'm going to, like every piece of equipment I own, I'm going to do something right away. And that's why daily inspections are critical. So what you want to do is you want to inspect your tool from top to bottom. You want to sharpen it when it needs sharpening. You don't want these blades too sharp, okay? You want to maintain that factory edge. But like in this case here, we got some burrs. They need to be addressed. This tool can last a very long time. I have tools with over 40, 50,000 stumps on them. We're still using them. They're a great tool, hard steel. You don't have to take off a lot of material, but you got to maintain that level edge on a monthly, daily basis. But daily inspection, possibly, you know, could be monthly when you actually have to sharpen it. Also your grease and everything else you're aware of, but today's video is about maintaining this tool, which is incredibly important. So I want to thank you all for listening, taking the time out. Appreciate it. Have a great day.